I used to always apologize to people. Always. It's so funny, how people demand things from others but are unyielding to give what they demand. I've learned through experience. You can say you're sorry 10 times over, but it comes through in your actions, I'm not gonna... at the end of the day, I know what I'm sorry for, and I know what I'm not sorry for. My days of extending apologies are done, unless it's the people that matter to me. Or on a professional level, or, whatever. But, to just go back and try to do this and do that. When misunderstandings or things happen, it's usually two-sided. It's not just one person going out and doing all these things. There's usually another side to the story and stuff. And yeah, it might be 50-50 down the middle. It might be 60-40, 70-30, 80-20 in the favor of or against, in terms of who is right and who's wrong, But generally speaking, unless you are a psychopath, and a serial killer randomly going out and killing people or something like this, talking about the average everyday person, when friendships end or things hit the fan, and somebody's standing there hurt and they're expecting an apology, chances are they were equally or partially responsible also. It takes two to tango is what I'm saying, I have had the misfortune of knowing people that like that. And I guess we all have, people who have this attitude of entitlement. Well, you owe me an apology, never apologizing themselves, having the balls ever once to say, I'm sorry, So it's one of those things, it's like, before you ask somebody, demand something of somebody, make sure that what you demand is something that you can give yourself. You're asking somebody to exercise humility. Are you humble? It's, I don't know why I'm thinking about this. I had a recent encounter with somebody, and it's not somebody that I know that well, actually. And it, big misunderstanding, both sides, and this person was like, you owe me an apology. I'm like, I think you owe me one also. This person was the one that actually started it, and, I said a couple of things out of frustration and stuff, and I was like, had you not said this or done that, it would have never begged the reaction that you got from me in the first place, because generally speaking, I'm an easygoing person. I'm not, just going to go out and look for trouble. And anybody that has known me knows that. Now, forget about the drug addiction, because drug addiction, alcoholism, any of those things is a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. Okay, I'm talking within normalcy and stuff. Within normalcy, living, without being hyped up and all that stuff, because that's a whole nother realm. But still, at the end of the day, we're still responsible and accountable for what we say and what we do, even in that state, or in the addiction of that, the disease rather. And then there are some things, to go back and say, oh, I'm sorry, what's the point? A lot of times, it's just a matter of finding resolution within yourself and learning from it and saying, okay, shit happens, It depends on what it is, but it astounded me how this person came at me and was like, you need to do this. Like, well, what about you? I know, where I own mine, it's whatever, but am I going to be, like gullible and succumb to manipulation or, because that's what you say I should do? No, it's what I feel. I live true to me, not true to you. And so I told that person, I was like, I don't live true to you, I live true to me. At the end of the day, I got to sleep and live with myself. I can lay next to somebody and, whatever, but I got to live with me. If there's some things, that I've gone back to try to make right and it's blown up in my face too. Sometimes it's just, it depends on what it is. With this particular person, it was not a big deal, really, but when I said, before, instead of demanding something from me, why don't you practice some humility and extend an apology to me and see what the result is? Take ownership, take stock in yourself and what role you played in that. Because generally, like I said, it takes two to tango. No one person's perfect. We are not all good inside. We all have our demons and stuff. I don't care who you are, what walk of life you've been from, what issues you have. You make your mistakes, not, no, nobody's perfect, so, but to come at me aggressively and, and demand that, it's like, practice what you preach, own your role in that, because it was because of what you said and what you did that elicited the response from me. Because for me to just come off that way, pissy, for lack of better words, generally speaking, no, I'm not just going to come off pissy, and so, but, some people don't know how to do that. They don't have the courage to look inside, and, just instead they just want to think, why me, all these things, this person did this to me and they did that to me, and, and depending on the circumstance, looking outside of that particular incident that I'm talking about, because that just happened a couple of weeks ago, and I guess it just had a little extra time on my hands, and I'm like thinking, wow, that's just amazing. Some people are just incredibly manipulative and are demanding and have not the courage to do what they ask of other people or expect, the expectations that they place on other people, and they just expect people to simply kiss their ass. And I'm so sorry to say I'm not an ass kisser. But I don't, I've moved beyond having foolish pride also, this false pride, because that got me into a lot of trouble during my youth. And so, in past, I had false pride and all those things. And so no, now it's just about, principle and not always being so, because I'm not responsible for what other people say and what they feel and what they think. If you can't handle my honesty, well, sorry, I'm not going to lie to you just to keep you happy, because then I'm going against my own grain again, so it's just, so I digress, and say, and of course there's other circumstances, more complex or whatever, where, okay, example, divorce There's three sides: his, hers, and the truth, which is somewhere in the middle. And it can be 50-50, 60-40 again, 70-30, 80-20, in favor of or against, down to even 90-10, whatever. But still, in any kind of relationship, even on an acquaintance level, it takes two to tango. And, unless, and yeah, there are people who are just straight out jerks, but on the average, in this particular instance, this was somebody that I was acquainted with, and no, I don't go out of my way for this person, and after that instance, it was like, this person didn't practice humility like like they're expecting me to do. So I just shook my head and just kind of, that was it. It's like, I'll meet you halfway, but don't expect me to be the one to take, apologize for, this and that when, no, I was not fully responsible for why. Really what matters is I know what I'm sorry for. In anything I've ever done in my life, I know what I'm sorry for, and I know what I'm not sorry for. And there's a reason why I'm sorry, and there's a reason why I'm not. Do I have a lot of regrets? Not really. I mean, yeah, of course, I didn't make a lot of wise choices in my life and stuff, but I'm not going to sit and dwell on that stuff. I'm not. No more than I'm going to sit around and dwell on, what other people have done to me or what they haven't done to me or done for me, whatever, it's just, keeping it moving, I'm just keeping it moving and living my life. And I'm so happy to be where I'm at and have finally arrived to a place of, like, screw the dumb crap. Or my terminology, fuck the dumb shit. I speak straight up, Screw it, life's too short. If I had an accident and I injured somebody, of course, you apologize, you spill a cup of water on somebody, those things are given, but I think, anybody who watches this video, probably be like, yeah, because we've all met somebody like that, and stuff. The arrogant Twilight Zone, or the two-faced backbiter or whatever, the person that's nice to your face and then talks about you behind your back and bashes you. We've all met people like that. Or, the person that's just demanding and condescending, or the taker. The person who doesn't know how to give, just take, and takes from the betterment of who you are, and just drains you. We've all met people like that, people that are clingy and obsessive and, whatever. We've all met people, cross paths with, people like that, whether it's at work, school, friendships, past friendships, relationships even, whatever. We've all, so it's something that, it just blows my mind, it does. But, to the person like that, all I can say is better you than me, I have peace of mind. No.